Hi, so it's Monday, day 16 of the Free Food Challenge, and that means it's the first um, day of the third week. We're officially over the hump of halfway point for this challenge, and today my free food is solely coming from Krista Tippett events. So Krista Tippett is a uh, producer and host of the show On Being, which is a podcast radio show that airs on WUNC here in North Carolina in the mornings on Sunday. And she does these really interesting long interviews one-on-one with people. So we just had lunch with her, a group of undergraduates. So that was a nice, more informal, less intimidating type of setup for undergraduates, and those are called do lunches. Stay tuned for more Keenan do lunches. We were able to talk about her life and how she got to where she was today, and also it was interesting to hear her perspective on people trying to get along with conflict and the future of humanity and the things that we have in common, and how not to get discouraged over things that might be seem like there's no hope, but how to find the hope. So it was really interesting. I'm excited to see her tonight as the distinguished lecturer. I just got back from a talk hosted by the Forum for Scholars in Publics, and they brought in Sonia Williams, who's a professor at Howard University, and Charles Cobb, who is visiting Duke at this time, and it was on the Black radio journalist Richard Durham, who was very prominent radio journalist in Chicago, and his work there. We listened to some of his radio shows, and it's really interesting thinking about this type of media that is slowly drifting out of the mainstream with the advent of social media, and that's been a topic of a lot of the talks that I've attended. It's really fascinating learning about this fellow Richard Durham, someone who I'd never heard of before, and getting really excited about his life and what he was able to do and his creative process. And I think Sonia Williams' enthusiasm about this very creative individual was able to excite the people who were at the lunch talk. Also, what was interesting about the lunch talk was that it was raining really hard. I actually went home and changed to get into dry clothes after biking back, and it's interesting after going to a few of these events how much weather plays into how well attended events are, and rain really is a deterrent. So there weren't a ton of people at the lunch today, but it was still fascinating for those of us who braved the rain to go out, and it was well worth it. Hi, so it's Wednesday afternoon. I'm about to go to an event here at the Nicholas School. Look at all these nice plants here at the Nick School, which is the School of the Environment. I am going to the next generation of agriculture roundtable, and I'm really excited about this because food and agriculture is important to me. That's also one of the reasons I'm doing this challenge, so I'll update you afterwards on what it's all about. So I just finished the talk with Deputy Hardin from the USDA at the Nicholas School, and it was interesting. Some of the numbers that stuck out from her talk were that 1% of the world feeds 99% of everyone else, and also hearing her position as someone working at the US government, what that means and what it looks like for her, is interesting. The call, the almost plug for asking students to work in the government for a few years as a public service to share their knowledge and how that's going to shape, and also her opinion on how we're really going to start change in this country about how we approach food and our views and values around food. So my plate awareness is something that they're trying to kick off with kids in the country and really focusing on the kids. It was interesting that this is one of the main ways that they're combating the obesity. They're going to try to combat the obesity epidemic in the U.S. She's talking about how the military was concerned and recently released a statement talking about how people are going to be too large to enroll in the military, and it's a main concern that we should be talking more about and addressing. So overall, it was an interesting roundtable. I haven't really had a lot of experience or exposure to government officials, specifically in agriculture. I've had none, so it was really new and exciting. Hi, so I'm about to walk into the Washington Duke Inn, which is right there behind me. There is a volunteer learning how to organize volunteers workshop for the alumni, and it's raining, so maybe some people haven't come, but there's a luncheon there and I'm going to go attend that, so I'll let you know how that goes. I'm back at the office from the Volunteer Leadership Conference that the Duke Alumni Association put on, and they had a very nice award ceremony at the lunch aspect of the event, and then we had breakout sessions where we were talking about different regional presences of Duke alumni and how you can engage alumni in the area and all the different things that alumni are doing. They are rolling out a new format for alumni connections and then this website, so I'm a new alum and not quite sure what that entails and what the old one really looks like, so I guess it sounds like it's a big upgrade because a lot of people were really excited about this new website, and there also was a lot to do on networking and how networking's changing with social media. So it was very fascinating, especially as one of the younger people in the audience, comparing and contrasting what my opinion and experience was with others who had graduated maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years ahead of me. So very interesting leadership conference. So I just got back to my office. It's Friday afternoon, and I found all this food waiting for me from the leftover lunch meeting today. And I'm so excited because this is going to be good for the entire weekend. So again, a shout out to the Bass Connections. Thank you so much for dropping it off. Hi, I'm here at the Homecoming Ball, and look, there's lots of free food over there.